Hey guys, Brian here with Affordable Sticks, coming to you from my most rustic cigar lounge. It's actually kind of cool. It's like a little cove that sits in this big garage. It's insulated, sheetrock. I got a carpet floor going down here below me, heater. So it's a nice place to come and sit and smoke a stogie. I get to be by myself, which is kind of important. I like that. I got good music if I want it. Great stogies. Like this Southern Draw. We did a video on this one, remember? This is a great cigar. Yeah. Can't wait to burn into this thing. Anyway, let's see if I can get my lighter to work. I need some butane in this. They're coming down there from the south. Would you enjoy a southern cigar? I say. Okay, that was a bad southern draw. I know. I am not an actor. Even though I portray one on TV. Anyway, hey Alexa, why don't you play some Dean Martin love songs? There's the music I was telling you about.
Here's a mix for you on Amazon Music.
I like Dean Martin. Sinatra. Alexa, turn it down just a tad. So I have to share my cigar lounge with a few garage accessories. Weed whacker, power cords, tools, a pellet gun, bikes right over here. But you know what? I really enjoy this. I get to come out here in this beautiful garage and enjoy just collecting my thoughts and enjoying a good stogie. It's the little things in life that we look forward to, isn't it? You know? Kind of funny. Man, that is such a good cigar. I'm going to have to get a box of these, I think. Impressed with the Southern Draw. I have some coffee with me this morning. Tastes good together. Got Gary sitting here. You guys remember Gary? There's a funny story behind Gary. A buddy of mine, Gary, who gave me that Bigfoot statue with the cigar in his mouth. His name is Gary, so I had to name the Bigfoot cigar guy Gary. But Gary and I like to sit here and talk about my truck behind me here. Love my truck. I put some money into that. It's a 2018 6.2 liter GMC. Love that thing. Put a lot of money into it to make it look that good. Big lift on it. High performance engine. Been tuned. You name it. We won't talk about that though. This is cigar time. So, I've been really curious about the Cuban cigar. I don't want to say controversy, but there sure seems to be a lot of controversy around it. It seems to me that Cuban cigars are kind of rare. I mean, I've done a lot of talking to people and a lot of research. And a lot of people are like, oh no, I've had a Cuban, I can get Cubans all the time. I don't know if that's true. I really don't. I mean, those embargoes that were put into place, what, 60 years ago, I guess, or a little longer, were tweaked in 2015 by our government. I can't say who because I can't stand that president. Sorry. Starts with an O. Anyway, there's still kind of some gray areas there. They're still illegal. You can get them now. I don't know if you're getting true ones, but they say you are. Like, especially from London. London and Switzerland, I think, are two of the hot spots right now. You cannot go down to Cuba. You're not going to go in there and buy a cigar and bring it back. They're not going to ship them to you from Cuba. And the real Cuban cigar is cigar that is made in Cuba with Cuban tobacco, Cuban leaves, made there by the Cuban people. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot of things around the Cohibas too. I'm still kind of, that's Cohiba is a name that's only related to Cuba by the name Cohiba. The tobacco, I'm thinking, from what I'm finding out, in most of those cigars, if not all of them, are not even Cuban tobacco. That's not a real Cuban cigar. I think there's real Cuban Cohibas, I'm sure, but are we really getting them? Anyway, so what I'm finding out is that Cuban cigars, real genuine Cuban cigars, you can get, you can't resell them. Like if you had some, or if you went to I'm 100%, don't quote me on this because I'm not real sure. Okay, this is still kind of a gray area. You cannot go to a cigar lounge and get a Cuban cigar. They can't resell them. That's illegal in this country, from what I'm finding out. Or a store. Can't go buy one at a store. You have to order them online and they have to come to your house. Okay? And it's going to be from London, I'm guessing. Now, are you really getting a real Cuban cigar? I'm finding out that some of those aren't even real Cuban cigars. It's kind of a scam. I'm sure there's sites and stuff that do have them, and they do claim that they have real Cuban cigars. But how do you really know? A lot of frauds out there, a lot of fake Cuban cigars is what I'm finding out. Also, I'm finding out, this is kind of interesting, that customs is stopping, like if you order some cigars, Cuban cigars, I don't know how often it's happening, but customs is stopping these Cuban cigars and confiscating them when they come in, like when you order them from London. So how often are you really getting a true Cuban cigar, unless you know somebody? I guess, I don't know. So, and you know, they really do kind of, I guess, hold that stigma of the best cigar in the world is a Cuban cigar. I had a Cuban. Yeah, you really had a real Cuban? You're like, yes, I did. And I know it was real, and this is why I know. And you're like, it was fantastic, and it was a 5-year-old cigar, and it was so great. And wouldn't that be great? I really would like to do that. I'd love to have a 5-year-old Cuban cigar and smoke it. I bet you that would just be fabulous. I think, from what I'm understanding, that the soil down there in Cuba, for all the years, growing their tobacco, you know, the fermentation process, blah, blah, blah. The soil is like, in that part of the world, is pretty rich, and it's, especially now more than ever. The way they take care and how they hand roll their cigars and put them together. I'm sure they're a fabulous stick, worth every penny. I'm sure $100 stick, whatever, $50 stick, $80 stick, even more. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but can you really get a good, genuine Cuban cigar for $20? A real Cuban cigar? I'm sure you can. I'm sure you get on everything online, you know, buy it and we'll give you a deal. We'll give you a 20% off for buying a box or 2 boxes or whatever. I don't really know. I haven't gone down that. I haven't ordered any yet from London or anything like that. I will look into it some more though. But I was talking about this a couple weeks back on one of my videos about the Cuban cigars, and I talked to this gentleman. His name was Rod, and he brought up he's ordering some, and he was wondering the same thing: are they real, genuine Cuban cigars, etc., etc., etc. So I don't know. Is it really worth it? Going through all that trouble just to make sure you have some Cuban? It probably is, especially if you're a cigar aficionado and you love cigars. You love to learn about them. There's so much to learn, by the way. Golly, I learn more and more every day. You know, especially being around people that's been around cigars or have an education behind them with cigars. I can think of one gentleman in particular. He doesn't like me to mention his name, but Shane. My buddy Shane out there at the Racketeer, boy, I tell you, he knows a lot about cigars, and he's done a lot of research. So every time I have a good question and I'm not really sure about something, I ask this gentleman, and he usually answers me pretty well. So it's sure fun to learn about cigars. But as for the Cuban thing, I don't know. I'm going to have to try to get some real Cuban cigars. I'm going to see what it's like. I'm going to see what the process is, and then we'll do a video on that when I order them and then I get them and all that stuff. But it seems to me that If you, for the money, if you want something that's close enough to a Cuban cigar, I'm thinking of a Fuente. I just wanted to touch bases on the whole Cuban cigar thing, trying to figure all that out. I'm doing more and more research. I kind of read about it every day. Educate yourself with your cigars, people. It helps you to get a good quality stick when you want one, instead of just guessing. So I'll do the best I can to learn more and study and research so I can give good info to you on cigars, on just the whole concept behind a good cigar, flavors, taste, notes, where they come from, how they're wrapped, what kind of fillers they have, what kind of tobacco, etc. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to enjoy my southern drawl.